Excited to play inside this week?
Yeah. Last couple games out in the cold weather, but playing in the dome is going to be nice, and especially an NFL stadium, and that's always a dream, so, yeah.
Got to see Ohio earlier this year. You guys kind of had that experience last year where you got to play a team kind of in the middle of the MAC slate and then got to play them again in the conference championship. Is there anything that you kind of noticed last year from maybe how different Toledo was at the end of the year compared to when you played them that might be applicable?
Yeah, I mean, going off of last year and then this year with Ohio, I mean, teams progressed throughout the year, so the team that we played in Ohio a couple weeks ago is not the same team that we're going to play. Obviously, they're going to be better. They've gotten a lot better this season. Obviously, haven't lost this month and obviously made it to the championship, but their offense is working really, really well right now. So, same with us, though. I mean, it's both teams are progressing a lot, and it's going to be a great game, but definitely going to be different than the first time we played them.
You guys had to face one of the better tight ends in the country this past week. It was one of the lower outputs, I think, for him all season. How do you think you guys did in that regard?
I think we did great. I think it was, 47 yards? Yeah, I mean, that's a testament to our coaching staff and our players. Our coaching staff gave us an amazing game plan. We knew a lot of the stuff that they were going to run before they ran it. And then our guys, especially with someone like Harold Fannin, who's as dangerous as he is in open space, converging and really swarming to the ball is a big thing. And, with him, he would catch it in open space. He would maybe break 1 or 2 tackles, but the other 9 guys, 10 guys are right there. So, I think that's something that our defense is definitely prides ourselves on. But it worked really well last week, I would say. So.
Take us back after the Toledo game, just where the team was at emotionally, and then compared to now going to Detroit, just how different that is.
I think there's 2 different parts to that. One is we said to ourselves we're not going to lose again, just because we thought that, we played an amazing second half of that game, but started slow. But we're like, we know that we're a championship caliber team and can't lose again. So we were really a team on a mission last year, and we had a bigger focus. But I think for me personally, the fact that when Brett got hurt, our team really rallied together and gave us some more motivation. We just had a different energy about us last year, and I think that we have that this year too. But I think you could sense a change in, that first half of the season versus after Brett got hurt. We were playing outstanding and really, just ultra motivated and harder, and worked a lot for us. So, yeah.
And then what about this year, though? I mean, go to Toledo. Team didn't play very well, and the locker room was probably pretty down. Just emotionally, what happened in that locker room to turn things around to now be on a 7-game win streak?
I think it was big with our coaches. They were like, we know we have a really good team, but we're just not playing it like it right now. And putting it on the leaders, we can either go on the route that we're going. I think we're like 1-4 at the time, and we can just keep losing games, or we could rally and everybody can work harder and we can turn it around. And obviously, I think we've had one of the best turnarounds in the country right now. I think we didn't lose all last month, and maybe before that too. So really just coming together and what do you want out of the season? We could just keep cruising down and losing games, or we can all bust our tails and get where we want to go. That's the championship, and that's where we're at right now. So.
First of all, I imagine the coaches have already said, maybe the first thing out of their mouth, that what happened, a month ago has nothing to do with what's going to happen next week, if you need to look at Toledo last year. But I'm sure that message has been sent loud and clear, right?
Exactly. You're referring to Ohio, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, the team we played, like I said earlier, the team we played a couple weeks ago, they saw what we were in all game, so they're going to have a game plan for that. They saw, improvements that we made in our defense all season, and it goes both ways. They're not going to come out with the same game plan. They got some guys back. I think 1 offensive lineman, and then their running back didn't play the second half against us, so they're going to be, be at full strength, be healthy, and likewise with us, we have more games on tape, and I think we had a great game plan, but obviously we can't do the same thing and improve on that, and I think that we're definitely going to do that. So.
They've used you in a number of different ways, a number of different assignments, and that. Do you like having that where you've these kinds of challenges where you're doing things, getting some of the key guys and getting those kind of varied assignments to show what you can do?
I love it. Honestly, it's, whatever helps the team win, but, selfishly, I like to show my athleticism and all the things that I can do, and the coaches really help me do that. So whether that's in a quarterback spy or, heavy on the back or, even on a tight end, I mean, that's something that I really pride myself on that I can do and help take people out of games, I want to say. And then pass rush, going against their best offensive linemen or doing certain stuff to certain sides to give us an advantage. I mean, that's something I really pride myself on and something that the coaches, believe in me enough to do, and I think it helps us win. So, yeah.
A MAC team hasn't repeated since Northern in 2012. A Miami team hasn't repeated since the 70s. What would cement this current era of Miami football? What would that mean to win back-to-back titles?
It's legendary. I mean, I think we're all going to remember winning games, but, being on the wall forever and having back-to-back rings and being the first team to do it in 40, 50 years, I mean, it's leaving a legacy. So it's something you can talk about for the rest of your life, and, something that we've definitely talked about. Coach always says it's so hard to repeat. Definitely hard to beat a team twice, but, I think we're very, very focused, and we're all, like-minded and real goal-oriented right now. And, I mean, that would mean the world to me and to the rest of the team to be able to be a team that goes down in history.
After playing out in the windswept plain of Bowling Green, you'll be indoors this week. Last year you played up there. How do you like playing on that kind of a surface and indoors and everything, as far as from a player standpoint?
It's different, especially coming from what we played in at Bowling Green, like you said. Super cold, windy outdoors. Ground was a little harder because of the temperature, but playing at Ford Field last year, I know it's very dry in there. It gets hot, lights get hot. The turf is fluffier, so it's different. I think we can play in any environment. You put us in a parking lot and we'd ball out, but it's different. Coaches talk about we have to hydrate, and we're practicing inside all week just to get ready for it. But it's different playing inside versus outside, but nothing we haven't done before.
Keyon, again, this past week for the offense, it feels like in the key moments where you guys need a big play in the game, you guys have kind of made them over this last month or so. How does this just continue to happen over and over and over again, it feels like?
Well, we kind of just stay level-headed. We don't get too high or too low whenever other players or other teams make big plays. And then we get back on offense, and we like to set the tone again. So as soon as we get the opportunity, we're going to take advantage. Like when Brett called, he changed the play, and then Javon ran the post for a touchdown. That was pretty sweet. So.
I mean, you've been on a tear this last, couple months of the season, kind of simultaneously with the team, right? But
Yeah.
This past week, you were slowed down a little bit in terms of production in the first half, and then as the game wore along, it started to pick up late. And numbers-wise, you were back, I think, where we were used to seeing you. Kind of, what was different, I guess, in the second half of that game, where the production on the ground really started to pick up?
In the first half, I felt like we were actually getting decent run looks, but they didn't want us to run the ball, so they were trying to do a bunch of games. So once we figured out what they were doing on defense, we kind of knew how to adjust. So we ran the ball that way, and then we kind of just wanted to run the clock out. But towards the end, Coach Martin gave me the go-ahead to score, so I decided to do that when I had the opportunity to present it. But later after, he was like, yeah, I should have told you to go down. He didn't realize it was going to be that much time left on the clock when I scored. So,
when you guys first played Ohio, it was kind of towards the beginning of this turning point in the year for you guys, and it was one of your best games of the season to that point. What do you think is most important for you guys to take away from that first matchup headed into this week?
Like from the first matchup, we take away the good plays for sure, and then we want to key off of whatever we did bad or wrong. I wouldn't say bad, but whatever we did wrong and correct those mistakes. And then it's really short-term memory. Like we didn't play that team, so we're going in to play a new team. Everybody's going to scheme and game plan accordingly. So we're going basically just playing a whole new team.
You played on the MAC championship team last season. What do you think is different about this year's team as you guys are trying to repeat?
This year's team, I feel like it's the mentality. Last year we were really talented and we beat people just because of talent alone. This year I feel like we earned a lot of the wins we had because we started off 1-4. So I feel like everybody went in this season with like a purpose. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I feel like I went in with a purpose. So
Same question I had for Ty. No Miami team has repeated in almost 50 years. No MAC team has repeated in over 10. Just what would that mean for you, for this team, the legacy of this era of Miami football to win back-to-back titles?
I feel like it'd be great. It'd be an experience, especially because it's my last year. I feel like I'm gonna give it everything I have. So, and I feel like all the other guys will too. We have a lot of seniors that's their last year. So, I feel like we're gonna give it everything we have in order to repeat and be up there on the wall again. So,
how's it feel as far as I guess you're able to take some pride in the running game, being able to balance off the passing game, and especially since both sides are having these big chunk plays, it's really gotta help things.
it feels really good. Like talking to the O-line, we always talk about rushing, and they want to give me big games. Like, so I like to pride them and give them credit because it starts with them. And then in the passing game, it really opens up the run game because defenders have to defend them. So we have really good receivers, and it's hard to just one-on-one those receivers. So we try to balance it. Well, they have to balance it and figure out how to stop it. So.